You're live.
Okay, I'd like to call the Finance and Budget Committee to order. And the first item is motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Moved by Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Any comments, additions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Privilege of the floor and public comment. The action agenda. The first item is a request for the transfer of funds as attached for the committee's approval. Looks like there's two, three of them. Someone care to move them forward? By Supervisor Stroh. Seconded by Supervisor Mayday. Any questions or discussion? Call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number two is items to be discussed by the county administrator, Mr. Taplin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a journal report of transfers. You see, there were a lot in employment and training. That's workforce development. That was a result of funds that were released to them, need to be put in the appropriate accounts. Countryside Adult Home had a large equal grant that permits residents of Countryside Adult Home to make purchases of their own choice, and this was the fund. It's moved into the appropriate account so we can do that. And there was one in social services that was it was an account, Child and Family Services, that was apparently over withdrawn, and they just needed to move money into that. It was New York State money. Questions on anything else? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome. Number three is items or requests and items to be discussed by the county treasurer. A is a request to approve corrections to the tax rolls outlined in the attachment included with the agenda.
Good morning, thank you. You see this every year. This is, we may have one additional one, but these are for, as you can see on the attachments, they're pilots. Some are clerical errors that come through and SCAR decisions. Any questions? Sorry, I did have the amounts. Oh, the amounts are here. So SCARs were approximately, so there's two types. There's correction of assessments and then there's chargebacks to towns. So the corrections on the last page of item 3A, you'll see that the corrections totaled $91,000. And then the chargebacks to towns was approximately $411,000. Questions?
What is SCAR?
I knew you were gonna ask me and I forgot. I forgot what it is. Does anybody? SCAR, I think.
It's a say court ordered change on assessment.
I think it's an article, the result of the Article 7,
Assessor.
the assessment litigation that occurs, property values.
So when people fight the assessment and they have to go to court and if they win, this is the adjustment that is made. Thank you.
Okay.
Pilots are payment in lieu of taxes. And then the other ones are clerical errors, and there are some state-owned land adjustments as well because they don't pay taxes. So those are adjustments on state-owned lands.
Okay, someone care to move these forward?
Yep.
Supervisor Driscoll, seconded by Supervisor Crusado. Any questions? Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm the volunteer chair of the Glens Falls Housing Authority, and correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like every year there's a pilot adjustment made to Cronin High Rise, Titchman Towers and Rose Gardens. And I don't know if that's the case. I'm just wondering why, on page,
I'm trying to find
Yeah.
out where you are.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
about 5 pages in. The next to last page.
Okay,
If it's the same situation every year, why we can't just kind of remedy that at the beginning of the year so that that adjustment doesn't have to be made? Do you understand my question?
there's a lot of, they come in, there's a lot of different ones that come in. You're saying, why don't we just do the first, why don't we just do the,
Well, if an
Housing
adjustment is
authority
made
ones.
last year, is it gonna be the same amount following year? That's the adjustment?
I don't know if it's the same amount.
The assessor does this.
Yeah,
Yeah, we get the information and make the adjustment.
okay.
So I don't know what it is until we receive it.
Why the assessor couldn't, do that beforehand. And that's not really my brain, but I was just.
I can ask.
Something to take up with the city, I think they.
Yeah, and the city generally is the pilot program,
Yep.
Folks.
I can at least ask the question. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer. I just know we get the
right.
adjustments.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anything else on these chargebacks? Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? And B is a request to rescind resolution number 276 of 2025.
Yeah, sorry about that. With regard to the Marshall and Sterling, they originally said that we had to go for a higher letter of credit because of the change in our insurance. And then they backed off it and said that they were fine with what we had. And I didn't get that to you. Unfortunately, I didn't get to pull it before the last meeting, or the board meeting. So that's what this is.
Care to move this forward? Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Molino. But any questions on that? Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you. Number 4 is referrals from the Criminal Justice, Public Safety and Emergency Services Committee. And if one item is from the Sheriff's Department, and it's a request to amend the 2025 Warren County budget in the amount of $10,844.33. This reflects receipt of reimbursement payment from the United States Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program for ballistic vest purchases. Introduced by Supervisor Driscoll, seconded by Supervisor Stroud. Any questions on that item? I'll call the question on number 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 5 has been withdrawn, I believe. Okay. Number 6 is referrals from the Health Services Committee. The Office of Community Services. A is a request to amend the 2025 Warren County budget in the amount of $7,280. And that's to reflect receipt of 100% funding from the New York State Office of Addiction Services and supports specifically designated for the purchase of naloxone and the other one there, Bernofine, used to treat individuals incarcerated in the Warren County Correctional Facility. Introduced by Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor Mayday. Any questions on that item?
So is this the same as like a methadone? Is this something that replaces that?
This is probably nasal stuff.
Yeah.
Like in a
Case of overdose.
Oh, okay, okay.
Anything else? Call the question on 6A. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 6B is from Public Health. And that's to amend the 2025 Warren County budget to reflect a reduction of funding in the amount of $238,677.64. And that's to correct the amount of the JUUL settlement funding received in 2025, which would be $143,206.92. The funding was reduced.
They were only trying to recognize what they'll get this year. They originally had recognized funding to cover like 3 years worth of funding. But this is actually reduction in both revenue and expenditures.
Oh, and I was looking up, those are both for opioid addiction. The
Oh,
drugs.
it's for addiction, okay. Gotcha.
Want to care to move that? Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Any questions on the,
One little one.
yes,
What is JUUL? Jewel, right?
Those are the vaping,
E-cigarette.
Yeah.
type, the
Vaping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Garbage.
okay, that's what that is?
Yeah.
So this funding goes towards helping people with issues for vaping, from vaping? So someone makes a decision to vape, bad for them, and then falls back on us to help them
Yeah,
figure out how to do
I
it.
think it's for education and advertising and that type of stuff.
More education and advertising. It was the result of the settlement against Juul that was promoting vaping, and they're the ones that had all that flavor, different types of flavors
Yeah,
Kids.
that
yeah,
they
it's
were
bad,
promoting
yeah.
with teenagers. And
Yeah.
it became a big thing for a while, and then they had a huge settlement across the country, with the state, I believe.
similar to the tobacco money. So we got the opiate monies that we got years ago, the petroleum overcharge monies
Okay,
that we got. They made a mistake and
okay,
they're paying for it.
Anything else? Call the question on 6B, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 7 is referrals from the Public Works Committee, the Department of Public Works. And it's a request, A is a request to amend the Warren County 2025 Warren County budget in the amount of $2,867.91 to reflect receipt of insurance recovery payments for repairs to a 2021 Dodge. Moved by Supervisor Molino, seconded by Supervisor Pacito. Any questions? Call the question, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. 7B is a request to establish additional 2025 road projects outlined in the agenda attached.
What have done to pass?
It is, it's there. You look at the first page after the personnel agenda, it's marked as 70. Like the projects, it's
Back ceiling and
crack seal,
guide rail project.
guide rail.
You got it, John?
Everyone find it?
Put this back, yeah, put that,
Okay.
There you goes.
I'll just say that it's 2 separate projects that we're doing. It's for crack sealing around the county on county roads as well as guide rail projects around the county. This money for these was done in the transfer in the very beginning. When John did the transfers, it's coming from other projects to be put into these projects. So it's not new money, money that we have already.
Someone care to move this forward? Moved by Supervisor Mayday, by Supervisor Molino. Any questions? Call the question on 7B. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next is finance approval of the personnel agenda items. Let's see, this is items 2C, 3A, 3B, 4F, and 4G. So we'll start with 2C, and this is from the Human Resources Director. This is a request to transfer funds in the amount of $23,500 from the contingent account to budget code A 1435-860 Human Resources. And this is for hospitalization to provide funding for additional hospital costs due to the change in coverage. Introduced by Supervisor Stroh, seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question on 2C. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 3A is a request to transfer funds in the amount of $175 from budget code A 1681-410 supplies to A 1681-120 salaries overtime. And this is to cover a shortage in the amount of funding budgeted for overtime. Introduced by Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Any questions on 3A? I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 3B is a request to appropriate $39,000 from budget code A 895 Computer Reserve Fund to various department codes to cover the cost of purchasing computers and related equipment and software, including microphones. Moved by Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Cressida. Any questions on those appropriations? Call the question on 3B. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4 is items to be discussed by the county attorney. And 4F is a request for a resolution to transfer funds in the amount of $10,000 from the contingent account to A 1420.440 county attorney legal transcript fees. And this is to cover the 2025 expenses for Romer, Wallens, Gold, Minix Limited. Moved by Supervisor Merlino. Seconded by Supervisor Mayday. Any discussion? Yes.
Just, thank you, Chairman. Just some clarification, Larry. I think these were covered during personnel, but there were 2 separate items in the personnel. Is this combination of those 2 items? Or-
One resolution request was to increase the contract amount.
Okay,
This is the second part of that, which is a separate resolution request to fund that increase up to $10,000 for 20.
okay, so this is part B or whatever of the second,
Yes.
related to the second, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Anything else? Call the question on 4F. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the last one, 4G, and it's a request for a resolution appropriating $4,227.05 from budget code A 863. This is the property and casualty insurance reserve to budget code A 4018.003-435. The preventative program, disease control, medical fees to cover loss of rabies vaccine and human vaccines caused by a refrigerator. Introduced by Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Stroh. Any questions? Okay, I'll call the question on 4G. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's see. Back to privilege of the floor and public comment. We did meet with the department heads, I believe, it was July 15th. Treasurer had organized a presentation by the State Comptroller's Office on budgeting. Seemed to be well received and, said my little spiel. We'll see what happens. We'll be starting up here in, what, week or so,
Next week,
10 days.
10 days, yeah.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn. Moved by Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor Mayday. All